Happy Sunday, guys. A couple days ago, I was listening to T.L. Osborne, and he was talking about the secrets to God's power. And just in the middle of the message, there was just this well and desire in my heart. And it's that I don't want anything less in my life than God's best. I don't want to settle for less as a Christian. Every single thing Jesus died for is what I want to see. Every single thing that happened at Jesus' resurrection is what I want to see in my life and my generation. And I was just praying and declaring and just really echoing it out loud that I don't want to settle for less as a Christian. Being a Christian and Christ follower is powerful. It's not an average life. It's an abundant life. It's a full package. And so it's away from this idea of being a Christian and then you're like every other person. You see situation like every other person. You handle situation like every other person. When people are saying like negative things and they are declaring negative and harmful things, and you also get to join them, forgetting that as believers, God has given us the authority to declare the things that we want and want to see. And there was something so powerful that T.L. Osborne said in that message. And I have been thinking about this all day and like ever since I listened to the message. And it's that God has given us the power to choose what we want out of life. That God has given us the power and the ability to decide and choose the kind of life that we want. God has given us the power to choose how much blessing, how much health, how much abundance, how much experience, how much transformation that we want to see in our lives. And I thought, that's true. It's true, because even salvation that Jesus died for, God gave us a choice. And we become believers, we become Christians just by choosing to accept the gospel. And so he said, we have the choice. We have the power to say, this is the kind of life that I want. We have the power to choose how much we want to get out of life. And I just said to myself, as for me and my household and my generation, I don't want to settle for less. I want God's best. There is something as that, God's best. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to settle for less. And I started to just pray this and declare this over my generation. And I told myself that just this one life that I have on this earth, I'm never going to settle for less. I'm always going to go for God's best. Everything that Jesus has to give, everything that the life of Jesus has to give, blessing, abundance, healing, breakthrough, is what I want to see. And until we begin to carry this idea and this vision of wanting to see God's best, we will be Christians and there won't be so much difference in the way we do things and the way we see life and act and feel about things. And then it dawned on me that if we're gonna see and live in God's best as believers, then our words, our thoughts, and our declaration needs to align. We can't be praying for breakthrough. We can't be praying for the move of God. We can't be praying for supernatural things. We can't be praying for healing. And then we're declaring something that is entirely negative over our life, over our society, over our family. And if we want to see and experience God's best, everything that Jesus died and resurrected for and gave to us after He resurrected, then our thoughts and our words and the things that we declare needs to align. We can't be thinking the worst to happen and then declare that you want to see the blessing. No, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so I started to look inward and started to ask myself questions. What are those things that I think about over my life, over my career, over my ministry, over my society, over my family? And what are the things that I say? Do they align? Because what I've seen over time is believers will say, I'm praying for healing, I'm praying for breakthrough, I'm praying for miracle. And then the things that we declare is not even in any way close to the things that we want to see. And it doesn't work that way. If you're thinking, if you want a miracle, if you want breakthrough, if you want blessing, if you want healing, then you have to think about that. You have to move around. We have to move around, carrying the vision and seeing the goodness of the Lord every time we move around, no matter what's happening around us, no matter what the society is saying. No matter what you see on social media, no matter what we see on news, we have to believe the goodness of God and carry that everywhere we go. Because what you see and declare is what we get. And so I started to say to myself, I don't want anything less but God's best. And I hope that you all can agree with me and begin to see this and desire it, that you will choose God's best every single day. Not just once a week, not just twice a week, every single day. That the moment you open the news and then you open, you go on social media and people share things with you, that you and I will choose to see God's best. I know things are happening in the world. I know different kind of things and people are suffering and struggling. But Jesus already died for this. And He's working. The fact that you don't get to see a lot of good news doesn't mean the Lord is not working. He is working amidst the chaos, amidst the suffering and the death and the things that are happening. God is good. And so we have to carry this vision and see the goodness of God every day and choose the best of God every day. And so can you say with me, I will not settle for less. I want God's best. I am not going to settle for less. I want God's best over my family, over my career, over my life, over my health, over my ministry. I choose God's best. I am Sarah, and I will see you in the next one.